Hi, thanks for joining us for this week's episode of InFocus Recouched.
We've got something for the blokes in the bush today, something for the teenage girls singing into their hairbrushes in their bedrooms.
And something for those of you who love to prepare good, healthy food.
Absolutely. First up though, let's take a look at an interview that both you and I will be able to relate to, Dora, since we've both lived in beautiful far north Queensland.
Yep.
This is a great chat I had a while back with a mate of mine, Pastor Johnny Murison. Well, I'm really excited to have someone I've looked up to for a while in the studio with me today, and that is Pastor Johnny Murison. How are you, Johnny?
I'm going well, thanks, Kent.
Excellent. Now, you used to live around here in the Sydney region, but you've gone back to your home country out there in North Queensland. Is that right?
Yes. I've been in Sydney for 10 years previously, and this year got a call to minister in Cairns, Mosman, and Weipa.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Now, even before you went up there, you started working on this project, which I think is still happening, and that's the Sacred Messages Down Under video series.
Yes.
How's that going?
Oh, excellent. A 10-episode series. The audience was initially for Indigenous people, and we had that in background, Australiana themes, Aboriginal cultural themes. Yeah, and it's connected with a lot of Indigenous people. At the moment, we've got 9 episodes out, ready to use and to buy, and number 10 is being edited right now and should be finished in a couple of months.
I have actually seen the first episode, which is I guess you sort of paint yourself, well, you don't paint, you really are a horse whisperer. Is that like...
I know about a horse whisperer.
I know training horses is a very political thing, so I don't want to use the wrong language and have you punch me or something, but you decide to use a more gentle sort of style of breaking in a horse, as people say, to train it to take a saddle and everything. Is that something you've done many times before?
To be honest, I haven't really done it that often. I've broken a few horses in, and I don't know, I just kind of have a little bit of a gift for it. But I've watched a lot of my uncles, my dad, break them in and interact with them, and so I just learnt from watching. I've got a lot of good mates who are horsemen as well. So I wouldn't definitely call myself a horse whisperer, but definitely a horseman. Yeah.
But the style of training you used is more of a gentle sort of relational style rather than a dominant sort of style, isn't it? And that's, I guess, some of the politics that comes with, with horsemanship. You chose that gentle style. Why?
Number one, I think I just got the hands for it, and it is the better way to get better response from your horse. Yeah, I like that one because you're building up trust, and they're more responsive. Yeah.
So you there training this horse on camera and everything, but you used that as a sort of a metaphor to understand, I guess, something about us and God. Was that where you were heading?
Yeah, that's right. The analogy was that this horse that was unbroken, living a life all by herself with her other ponies in the scrub, and so we go and grab this horse, start to win her over with trust and talking to her nicely and day by day handling. Yeah, and so basically I knew this horse was afraid of me, and that with a bit of time and care and building up that trust, that she will eventually wouldn't distrust me, that she'd become my friend. So that episode we titled Afraid or a Friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in regards to, I guess, the way God connects with us, are you suggesting that God uses a similar gentle approach? Because I guess a lot of people have an idea of an angry God, a God who's going to punish you, the God with the stick, the God with the riding crop and the spurs.
Yeah, so that's the message we're trying to get across, that is definitely what God is like. Yeah, he's definitely taken the more gentle approach. I think there are times when he's going to have to use discipline on us who are really disobedient.
But those whom I love I discipline, isn't that what the Bible
says? That's right. Yeah. So we wanted to bring that metaphor across to say that's exactly what God is like. He's not someone to be afraid of, he's someone to be a friend of.
Yeah.
And even when Judas betrayed Jesus, he said, "Friend, do what you've come to do." Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Now I noticed that another episode is called Boomerang Man.
Yep.
And you connect Jesus. Are you calling Jesus the boomerang man? Or what's going on with that?
The episode starts off with me throwing a boomerang. We're out at Uluru,
Oh yeah.
filming this one, and so throw a boomerang, and comes back to me.
Oh, there you go.
I catch it.
That's always nice when that happens on camera, when it actually comes back.
That's right. If it doesn't come back to you, it's just a stick.
That's right.
So I catch this boomerang, and and I just say that this boomerang is like Jesus. As this boomerang came back and returned to me, Jesus is the returning boomerang man. He's coming to take us back home to be with him forever. And people are just loving the analogies, you know, of Aboriginal culture and of the outback, with stock and stuff like that, you know.
What does that say about people? Because I mean, a lot of Christian television, I mean, let's face it, you know, is like this, you know, sitting in nice, pristine studios with, you know, suits on and that sort of stuff. But you seem to have really connected with people in a different way. What sort of responses are you getting?
Well, I was in Mossman the other day, and I lent out Boomerang Man.
That's real Mossman in North Queensland, not Mossman in Sydney.
Not Mossman Sydney, Mossman, North Queensland, and I gave it to a family that I'm actually related to, and they said, I really, really like the cultural aspects that you're bringing through to tell us the story about God's love and about God's plan for our life. And so they're connecting with it. And so, I mean, obviously the primary audience was Indigenous, but it's just gone bigger, and people all over the world are watching it and loving it.
Oh, really?
And so non-Indigenous are buying them as well, buying the series, and connecting with it, loving it, because who doesn't love a story? Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, I guess Christianity in some ways, we could say it came on a boat, you know, with a couple of Church of England chaplains, and for some Australians, it's maybe still seen as a foreign religion and not an Australian spirituality. Do you think it's important that Australians sort of own the Bible and own spirituality and Christianity for themselves?
Oh, definitely. Aboriginal people are already spiritual people, you know.
Sure, yeah.
So when Jimmy Cook came and and all his crew, they didn't bring God to the shores, you know. God was already here in our culture, in our belief system. There are a lot of Aboriginal people who, you know, against Christianity, they see it as a white man's religion, but then there are those who...
A colonial artefact, essentially,
And so they see the truth in Christianity, see the truth of God's word, the truth in Jesus, and knowing that he's coming back again. So there are a lot of those, a lot of our people who still worship him, love him, and there are some who lost their way, and this series is a good thing just to reintroduce into families and to get them back to the study of the word and having family worship together, just watching the DVD or whatever, and having a yarn about it afterwards and what they liked and what they got out of it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it's working in that regard. Yeah.
It's really good to hear. And okay, so if you're interested in getting hold of that series, the website is the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Ministries Department of the Adventist Church.
Yep, atsim.org.
Atsim.org. Well, that was easy. So check that out.
And go to resources.
Yeah, there's some resources there, and all the episodes are listed. Hey, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, Johnny.
No worries, Kent.
Man, it's so good to see someone putting their passions into action.
Yeah.
He loves the outdoors and nature and all of that, and he can combine it with his calling as a pastor.
Yeah, it's great. His enthusiasm was infectious for me too. You know, it's hard not to get interested in what he's so excited about. He's a great guy.
Yeah, for sure. Time for an ad break now, but don't go away. We'll be back in just a sec.
We live our lives running around, rarely stopping to ask ourselves where we're going and what our final destination is. In the end, our lives become little more than routine. Step beyond and discover a path that offers comfort, love and hope. Visit hopeoffer.com/step beyond or call 1300 300 389 for your free copy today.
We're going to start with some soybeans. Use some chickpeas, an onion, you have a teaspoon of salt, slice some tomatoes, slice some cucumber, some red onion just to give it a bit of freshness. So just make little falafels like this. They just smell amazing. Let's make our tahini dressing. Let's get in some tomatoes. cucumbers, some falafels. Drizzle some of this lovely dressing. All you need to do is roll it up and you've got a delicious lunch for your family.
Hi, welcome back. Now, when I think about sprouts, Dora, it's alfalfa that comes to mind, and honestly, that's about it. But check out this next segment with Sue Red. You'll be amazed at the variety that's out there.
Let's take a look.
Yes, it was in World War II that the famous sprout was recommended for the people of the United States and Britain, Sue, and when they were running out of food.
That's right.
Why? What was
to
special
top
about
up
the
their
sprout?
protein
Protein from sprouts.
Little
Greens.
sprouts can give you extra protein.
Oh, so tell us about sprouts. What's so special? I'm going to munch some of these while
Yeah,
you
well,
kick us
sprouts
off.
are basically germinated seeds or nuts or whole grains or legumes. You can sprout most things. And the exciting thing about sprouts is that when you sprout one of these dormant seeds, you significantly boost the nutrient content.
Oh, so I've just had a nutrient boost.
You have. So, for example, you will significantly boost the levels of vitamins such as vitamin C and E and folate. You will significantly increase the levels of minerals like iron and zinc. You will make the protein more available, the amino acids, hence the reference back to World War II. And even the carbohydrates in those foods become more tolerable. So if people have problems tolerating legumes because of the flatulence factor, eat them as sprouts.
What I found fascinating was the enzymes. It makes the enzyme more available to the body?
Yes, it makes the enzymes from the sprouts which have been dormant more available, and also simply through the sprouting process you reduce various levels of what are called enzyme inhibitors, which is what enables the amino acids from the protein to be more readily available. In fact, by up to about 25% more.
Can you show us some of these? You said
Absolutely.
that nuts can be sprouted. I had no idea.
Sesame seeds,
Yeah, they're
almonds.
so small.
Yeah, most people think of alfalfa when they think sprouts, but there is so much more out there at the moment in terms of sprouts. And I think this has been driven by the interest in raw foods and the raw food movement. And it's a good thing because it means we can enjoy more textures, more flavours of different types of sprouts.
So what have we got?
So common ones you might see in at your greengrocer in your supermarket would be these, and often these are called bean shoots.
Yes.
These are just sprouted mung beans, the little green mung beans. And these can be used in soups, in stir fries, or you can get what are called soybean sprouts, and they look they look similar to these, but see the little head? It's a little bit bigger. So this is used traditionally, say, in Okinawa. They make a beautiful stir-fry with green papaya and soybean sprouts in a sweet and sour sauce. So they use them in stir-fries. You can use them in salads. You can use them in many different ways. Now, what we've got here, James, is an assortment of different kinds of sprouts to give you some idea, and I'll just point out a few. So we've got sprouted rye there. You can sprout rye, you can sprout wheat. We've got sprouted quinoa. You can even sprout the what are called pseudo grains, quinoa, amaranth. We've got sprouted legumes such as chickpeas, lentils, soybeans. We've even got sprouted buckwheat. So there's no end to sprouts, but probably one of my favourite sprouts would have to be the broccoli sprout, and that's that little tub there. Why? Because apart from boosting the content of vitamins and minerals, what we now know that sprouting does is to significantly boost the content of antioxidants and phytonutrients. And some time ago we talked about the benefit of those cruciferous vegetables. You remember the broccoli, the cauliflower, which we know are good for cancer? Well, would you believe the broccoli sprouts, as compared to the mature broccoli, have between 50 and 100 times more of sulforaphane, which is the phytonutrient that fights cancer.
I know we're not talking about this today, you said, but we have a centrepiece here. It's the...
We do, because, you know, you can use sprouts in salads and in sandwiches and so on, but you can also use them in cooked foods and prepared in different ways.
And this is sprouted?
This is sprouted bread. Have you ever seen sprouted bread before?
No, I can't wait for the next section. Go to SueRad.com and just find out the amazing things she discovers. It's just incredible to me. So we're doing a special show.
We are. Sprouted grain breads are made from different types of sprouted grains, which are then sort of mashed and put together to make a more of a solid block, you might say, a chewy type of bread. And it's the way bread used to be made before there was flour. So you can buy products with using the sprouts, or you can even buy. Yesterday I was at the markets buying these sprouts from the sprout lady, and James, I brought you back a little taste tester, and she made a dal, and the dal is made from the sprouts. So have a taste of that and I'll tell you how she made it. So she used some ginger and kaffir lime, and she also put in a little bit of chilli and the usual ground seasonings like coriander and cumin. And she made it out of the sprouts rather than out of the dried legumes. It's beautiful.
Got a little bit of a spicy kick.
So there's lots you can do. Also in my breakfast book, James, lots of yummy recipes for sprouts, for breakfast foods, but one of them that I love is the cashew date and sprouted wheat spread. So you can make things at home, and you can also either buy your sprouts at markets, supermarkets, or just do them at home. Get a sprouting kit from the internet and enjoy them that way.
Well, it's just wonderful and marvellous. And folks, if you'd like to enjoy more sprouts and work out how to use them, be watching next time as Sue explains about sprouted breads. But between now and then, go to SueRad.com and you'll just find out so much. It's just incredible, Sue. This is amazing.
It is really beautiful.
Do you see what I mean, Dora?
Yeah.
I mean, sprouted lentils, sprouted buckwheat, for goodness sake.
No, it's crazy. But it kind of makes me want to go hunting next time I'm at the supermarket for some different sprouts that I can add to like a stir fry or, you know, something like that.
Oh, you're talking my language, Dora. Hey, we'll take a short break now, but we'll be back with more InFocus Recouched in just a second.
Father, I can't connect the dots through the little that I understand. What words can I say to reach you? How can I know that you are there, listening, hearing, caring? My words are broken, weak, and powerless. But I know your power is limitless. What can I say?
Onions add great sweetness and flavour and a good base to any curry. Going to add some ginger, some garlic. Look at that, nice and chunky. So we've got our spices, gives it kind of a Sri Lankan feel. Add some tomatoes, tomato paste, some honey. Roasted vegetables in these kind of dishes are always great. We add some creaminess to it. And that dish is now finished, ready to hit the table. I recommend you to give it a try, and it's so easy.
Planning your future can be a daunting task. What you want to do, who you want to be, and the road ahead can often be unpredictable. No one really knows what the future holds. Avondale. It's education designed for life.
Hi, welcome back. Now, there's so many negative messages out there for young women and girls in terms of body image, sexualization, all of that. So it's great that there are people out there that are trying to make a difference.
Yeah, for example, the editors of Gigi magazine. Let's check out this interview with James Standish.
Well, it's great to welcome Stephanie Espinoza to the set. Stephanie is the creative manager of a new magazine called Gigi. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, the world is full of magazines. And, you know, every time I go to the newsagents, I see, it seems like thousands of different magazines. Do we really need a new magazine?
Well, actually, this is a great new magazine for girls. It's a Christian-based magazine. We've made it non-denominational and we've called it Gigi. It stands for Gorgeous in God's Image, because our goal is for girls to believe they are gorgeous in God's image. Okay. And we want that positive magazine where girls can read it with their parents, with their friends. They don't have to hide it. And it's got topics that girls don't need to hide.
Right, yeah, it's fabulous. Now, you know, I said that there's 1,000 magazines, but I'm the parent of a couple girls, right? And so I'm looking for stuff for them to read. And the truth is that a lot of the stuff on the newsstands, it's really corrosive stuff. I mean, this isn't stuff that makes people sort of grow in God's image. It really sort of corrupts people. Would you agree with that?
Well, I would definitely say this is a great magazine for your girls. Definitely get it for your girls.
Well, yeah, I have it here. And, you know, before we started the interview, obviously I've had a look through the magazine, and it's got, I mean, it's beautifully laid out. It's very professional. You know, I edit a magazine, and I was a little bit jealous of some of the stuff that I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just a gorgeous spread, and the kind of thing that I suppose any teenage kid would love. And yes. When you were a teenage kid, would you have loved a magazine like this?
Well, actually, I remember with my sister going to all the Christian bookstores looking for a Christian magazine. You know, I really wanted something, and I wasn't much of a reader. I couldn't read like the thick books like my sisters did, and I wanted something with pictures and topics, and I never found it. And I guess I started something for the girls at church, which was actually a little newsletter for girls. It started like this with devotionals that I loved to read and inspirational things that I thought girls would benefit from, that I benefited from.
You've come a long way, Stephanie. I mean,
there's a big difference.
I just like hold that up. I mean, look at this. Is sort of like a little looks like it's photocopied, and this is a major glossy magazine. I mean, how do you guys put this together? Who's behind it? How do you work?
Well, definitely God. You know, this is an area in our lives that is completely different. We have no idea about the media world, publishing, magazines, you know, it's new to us. And within 2 months of this project, God had opened all the doors. We had a designer, we had people ready to edit the magazine and check the spellings, check the articles. We had writers who were willing to give us their time and just donate their articles for the girls. And it's been an amazing blessing. And we're learning a lot still, you know, and we love it. We are passionate working with girls.
So you have three editions so far.
So far, yes.
And what I've noticed is, if I can say this, is the first edition I was very impressed by. The second one's better, and the third one's better. I don't know where you guys are going with this. Like I said, I'm a little bit in awe about what you've been able to do. I mean, it's so fresh, it's contemporary, it's the kind of thing that you know, just you'd see on a newsstand, and yet you guys are just doing it, and it's your sisters who are working with you on this.
Yes, we're actually 5 girls. We're called 5 Sisters Ministry, and it's actually a good thing we get along because we're working together very closely, and we have meetings, you know, we get together, we bounce ideas off each other, and yeah, it's been a blessing. We always wanted to work together. And so God has let us do this together.
And now you are.
Yes, we are.
So who's writing for the magazine?
We have several people. We have a lifestyle counsellor who does beautiful beauty tips for the girls, how to make your own soap, your own lip gloss, natural products for your hair that you can make yourself at home, which is always fun. We have a stylist who tells us, you know, how you can dress appropriately, but be in fashion, but not showing everything, you know, still being decent and in fashion.
And that's one of the nice things I noticed with the photo spreads is, you look at the girls in the magazine, and they all look great. I mean, they really look stylish, as you say, but they don't look, you know, inappropriate like so many magazines seem to uphold. Very, as you say, sort of show it all out there. It's nice to have something that's upholding a really beautiful style of dressing.
Yeah, we believe girls are gorgeous, you know, and it's being through, I guess, experience and through friends and seeing a lot of things when I was at high school, you see that, you know, the girls don't believe they are gorgeous at all. There's a lot of self-esteem issues, and, you know, we want to help. We want to be the support for the girls that, you know, a lot of the time they can't find, and if they do, might not be the right person to ask. You know, girls don't want to turn to their parents, or they feel weird and think, you know, why am I going through this? I'm the only one. But we want them to say, no, you're not the only one. You know, girls, Christian, non-Christian, will go through these issues, and we want to address them, and especially focus that God is the one who will just take you back. He will make you pure all over again. And
well, that's one of the things I liked. I mean, I looked at, in one of your copies of your magazine, there was actually an article about a very sensitive issue, abortion. And yet it was done in such a redeeming, beautiful way that I felt like, you know, if my kids read that, I mean, my kids are still just a bit too young, but when they become teenagers, I'd feel very comfortable with that. That puts the issue in a really holistic light that would help them understand what the issues are.
Yes, we've had girls who give us the story they write for us anonymously. We had this girl write to us about her abortion, and it was sad, but it was beautiful. And I guess the fact we want to make it redeeming, because that's who God is. He is redeeming. He doesn't condemn us, and He doesn't see our past. And we've got so many other stories coming. We have one about a mother who left her daughter, and she writes about how that abandonment affected her. We have other stories about a girl who got pregnant when she was in high school. We've had some of the past issues who wrote about self-esteem. There's so many things. But
Oh, I think what I like about it is you're talking about real issues, because these are real issues
There are
out
real
there.
issues, yes.
But you're doing it from a Christian perspective that isn't condemnatory, but it does set the right standards. I mean, you don't mess around with like trying to say that something's okay to do that isn't okay to do.
We have an article in the First magazine called Why Wait? And it talks about sex before marriage. So we put there, why you wait, stories of girls, and then we ask the question, will you wait? We don't tell them, don't do it, or yes, do it. It's their choice. But they know, I guess, the consequences and what could happen, and it's up to them at the end. We don't want to condemn them, but we just want to let them know what's out there.
I think it's a magazine that actually girls will read. You know,
We've had great feedback, which is amazing.
Right.
Which we're so happy about. We've had feedback from parents that they've seen change in their daughters.
Right.
And we've had girls tell us, you know, we're changing this, or we're changing that, or this really helped me. And I've got to admit, I got teary because, you know, that's the Holy Spirit working there. You know, this is God's magazine, and, you know, we want to promote it a lot.
Absolutely. Now, maybe just coming to the end of the interview, a lot of people are going to look at this and say, how do I get this for my daughter? How do I get it for my grandchildren? Christmas is coming up. This is a fabulous gift idea for people who have teenage girls in their lives. How do they get a copy? How do they get a subscription?
Well, you can go onto our website. It's fivesistersministry.com.au or ggmagazine.com.au. And it's a great present for granddaughters, sisters, nieces if you have any. And if you don't have anyone young, I guess give it to a friend, you know, or even read it yourself. We've had women in the 30s, 40s and 50s who have subscribed and they love it. You know, they still find the topics relevant. We have recipes in there as well. There's a lot of topics, you know, any age group can pick it up and love it.
Hear, hear. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank
what
you
you
for
and your
having me.
sisters are doing is really remarkable. You're hitting a niche that is so undermet with Christian content, and I really hope and pray that you succeed and go to great things. It's no easy thing to keep a magazine going and financially successful. In a way, it's up to us, isn't it? If we want great Christian content for our teenage girls, well, we have to subscribe. Otherwise, it will go away.
It's kind of sad playing that interview again because Stephanie was so pumped about that magazine, but sadly, Gigi, like a lot of other magazines lately, has stopped printing their paper edition.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it, in that industry?
Yeah.
But they are keeping up their connection with young women through a new website, ggdiary.com.
Awesome.
So that's probably the best way to keep up with what the Espinosa sisters are up to lately.
Yeah, I think everyone's going online these days. It's the way of the future, I guess.
Yeah, well, it looks like that. And look, that's where all the kids are anyway, so, you know, why not?
Fair enough. Anyway, we're out of time this week. Thanks for your company.
We'll see you next time on InFocus Recouched.
God bless.